Hi, I'm Beth with TB Properties Buys Land. Today I'm going to talk about access to your property. So here at TB Properties Buys Land, there's times that we'll send out offer letters to landowners with a specific offer or a range price value to buy your property from you. So one of the things that we mention that's important when it comes to purchasing property from you is that you have to have legal and physical access to your property. So what do we mean when we ask for access? So physical access is going to mean a road. Most of the time we're looking for a county road or even a local, farm to market road is acceptable as well, because we know that someone's going to be maintaining that. We know that depending on the time of year, no matter what time of year, you can get to the property because that's being maintained. Some private roads, the private road is going to count as physical access to the property, and that just depends on how valuable that is in terms of the upkeep and what kind of road that is, how well it's been kept up so far. Anyway, so that's what physical access means. Now, what if your property doesn't have a road to it? There's a lot of property that I've looked at that doesn't have a road to it. So the next question that we ask is, do you have legal access to it? A word that you might hear is called an easement. Is there an easement for you to cross neighboring parcels of land, your neighbor's land, to get to your parcel? And so that's important. Where will you find that information? Most of the time you will find this on your deed. Better yet, if you've got a survey of your property and the surrounding areas, oftentimes they'll show that as well. But in the deed, it will say that it'll call out different easements. It'll say maybe there's an easement for electrical company to go along the southern border and have power lines, or to go and keep up the power lines. It might say that there's a water line easement, that sort of thing. But the important thing is, do you have legal access to your property? And you have to think about this. Maybe you've gone out there and your neighbor Joe Bob, and he's been fine with you going out there across his property to get to yours. You don't think anything of that. But what happens when your neighbor sells his land and the new landowner isn't so happy about you trespassing across his property to access yours? Because yes, you're trespassing. So now you're committing a crime by crossing their property to get onto yours, if there's not an easement in place, if there's not an agreement in place. Okay, so that's why here at TB Properties Buys Land, we're going to ask you, do you have physical access? And we can see that oftentimes from satellite images. And we'll also ask, do you have an easement to your property? Do you have legal access to it? So if you don't have a deed, maybe this is inherited property, you may not know that. It may take paying for a survey to find that out. And then we have to go down that route and just see, is that worth going down that path? But there are some states where you can try to get, you can fight in legal court for access, and that can be very expensive. It can be time consuming, and sometimes you win, and sometimes you may not. But there may be remedies, but that's why we ask that question. And I hope that makes sense to some of you. I know people have asked us about that. Again, here at TB Properties Buys Land, we purchase rural land all over the country. It doesn't matter where you're located. We always close to a title company so that the transaction is safe and secure, so that you get paid cash, but you get paid from that title company because we're going through title. But yeah, we pay in cash, we pay quickly through title. So reach out to us across email or through our website, give us a call. We're happy to look at your property and get you a quote. Thanks again for listening.